Speaking of development, the Knicks, the Knicks catching the
Go
league
New
by
York, go New York,
storm.
go.
They are catching the league by storm right now.
Josh Hart special, man. Very one of the best role players. I liked him since the Lakers drafted him.
Yes, but now it's almost like Tom Thibodeau has his type of players, his type of guys. Because
That's the worrying part if
if
you're a
he
Knicks
made
fan.
well hold on, if he made Joakim Noah a freaking 2-time All-Star, multiple times first, or second All
Well,
NBA,
dang.
Luol Deng, he could make these guys definitely more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys definitely have more raw skill. Like guys
Tibbs
like
has culture,
Randall,
man.
Brunson, OG.
Yep. OG.
OG
Dante
is his new
Lorenzo.
Luol Deng.
Yeah.
For
Dante
sure.
Lorenzo. Josh Hart.
Yep, Dante.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys
Bro,
have a lot, and
yeah.
and Tibbs got them grinding right now without OG, without Randall. They got Miles McBride doing his thing.
Yep. They have a lot of gems.
It's a lot of gems, but it's also Tibbs actually has his kind of backing. You could tell like the Knicks front office, they're in sync. They're getting Tibbs the type of players that he want. They kind of trust what he's doing.
Well, I think they know Tibbs, man. Tibbs is a guy. Tibbs is he's a fringe playoff guy, but I don't know. Can Tibbs take your team far in the playoffs? Is my question. I think this culture is fun, but at some point, the Knicks are gonna have to look at Tibbs. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the line is how far can this guy take
if you
us?
take a step back and look at Tibbs, the person for who he is, like just what he does, you can see like he's almost like the Bill Belichick of the NBA in a way, minus the winning yet. But I'm saying like as far as the characteristics, he's always in the film room. This guy doesn't even go out. He doesn't have much of a family life.
He's a junkie.
Yeah, he's a basketball junkie, and he's had great success with the Chicago Bulls getting D Rose MVP, and just that overall team. They possibly could have went to the finals, but of course D Rose got hurt. When he went to Minnesota, Minnesota was actually successful. When he left, they didn't make the playoff the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere Tibbs has gone, he's had success, and he comes from like championship pedigree. He's come from the Boston Celtics. He was Doc Rivers' assistant coach on that championship team. And he also was working with Jeff Van Gundy through the 90s Knicks. So, Tibbs kind of has the resume of being that type of coach.
He's worked for tough coaches. Jeff Van Gundy in his day, tough coach.
Mm-hmm. Because in a way, I would say in a way you could take away Doc Rivers' championship with the Celtics. If you take that away, he's not that far off from being Tibbs. Really not. And Doc Rivers has had 10 times more talent than Tibbs has ever had. Tibbs got Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, Ben Gordon, all these type of guys, Luol Deng. He's got those guys performing at high levels.
Yep.
Like it's something to be said. And then now you look at this Knicks roster: McBride, Hartenstein, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo.
But I remember Hartenstein was struggling to find a spot in Houston.
Has a pedigree, man. I don't know if it's championship, but it's not too far off from that, man. He just needs the luck side. The luck.
He needs the luck side. I feel like Tibbs need better time management. That's always been one thing that's been a problem with him.
You don't think that's a little bit overrated? Because we've only seen D Rose break down, and that's because of D Rose's body.
I think it's a stupid narrative. Very stupid narrative.
Yeah, it
but
is.
Yeah.
It is.
And like you kind of it is. But as long as the players don't complain, I don't see why they complain. But for a regular season, it does kind of get tough and grindy. That I do agree with, but I think the whole burning out shit, I think is kind of overblown.
Mm-hmm. But as far as the Knicks, I mean, if everything could come together for them, the injuries, if Randall could at least come back 70-80%, and then OG comes back at least the same, and then you have Brunson, and the key person that no one talks about, if Mitchell Robinson comes back for this team, for them to have Mitchell Robinson, Precious, and what's his name, Hartenstein rebounding at the clip that they rebound, coming off the bench, starting
in every position.
Yeah, this team is going to be very tough.
At best, this team could be the Detroit Pistons of the 2000s.
They could.
Just dogs.
And low key, Chauncey Billups, man, that was a dog. He has the same characteristics as Brunson. He can make the big shot. He plays the right way, very efficient. Yeah. This
100%.
This team is I guess the Knicks have a branding in the past 20 years where people just the media overall, they just brand them as, kind of a fuck up. Like the NBA's fucked up child, like the child that keeps messing up, or a stepchild.
Yeah.
But now it's like that branding when it's pretty obvious to people, like, yo, this team is serious. And they can get free agents.
The media spoiled the Knicks, It's like, it's a spoil. The best way I could put it is a spoiled child who's shown that, he can be good at something.
Yeah. But it's hard for them to be taken serious when they are good. And I think this season we've seen that, because even Jalen Brunson, for them to be denying Jalen Brunson at this point, it's like you've seen him in the Western Conference Finals with the Mavericks. You've seen what he did in the playoffs without Luka there, how he cooked
against
up Donovan
Phoenix.
Mitchell.
He killed Phoenix.
Yeah, like they seen this guy kind of rise up, and they're just like, They seen him last year in the playoffs against the Heat in Game 6 when no other Knicks can make a shot. This guy had the Knicks like a possession away from winning.
2021, if he was there in 2021, we wouldn't talk about Trae Young's Eastern Conference appearance.
Yep. But it's interesting. The East, I would say the Knicks might be the future of that conference, depending on what happens with the Celtics. If they end up blowing up that team, or just, trading away Jaylen Brown because of the new CBA or whatever, the Knicks might actually be in the best position to be the future of the conference, because not only they're good now, they have a lot of draft assets to keep adding to it. The Celtics don't have, well, I wouldn't say necessarily Celtics, but the Bucks don't have that. The 76ers don't really have that as much. And, the other teams in the league, like the Heat, they're getting older. So the future of the East, it might be too early on this, but it could be the Knicks. It's looking like the Knicks are in the best
That's
position.
What we're here for. Yeah. We're always here for hot takes, bro.
It's funny because these things are not hot takes. These things should be said, by the national media, but they're not.
But I think
they're too busy talking about the Lakers. Let's keep it a buck. The 9th seed Lakers, the 10th seed Warriors. This is what they talk about every single day.
Bro, man, look, just wait till Steph Curry LeBron comes to New York, and you'll be fine. But back to series track, the criticism Brunson gets, I think it should be put more on Randall. Can Randall finally break into that playoff ceiling that he's been struggling with?
Well, the real question is, can Randall finally be healthy?
Yeah.
Because last season, he was not healthy. Like, he ended up getting surgery on his foot, and he was going up against an all-NBA defender in Bam.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
bro, he's Zach Randolph, man.
I wouldn't say that, because he wasn't healthy last year in the playoffs. And then the year before, in the year before, he went in the playoffs. Well, not the year before, but when the Knicks were facing the Hawks, the Knicks had no point guard. They had to make Derrick Rose burn himself out by playing 35 minutes plus. And then they had no Mitchell Robinson either.
Yeah.
So the Randall playoff thing is a little bit overblown, but we haven't really seen him fully healthy in a good situation in the playoffs.
Also, the Zach Randolph comparison was a compliment.
In a way, how so?
Bro, Zach Randolph was a beast.
But was he a beast in the playoffs? I don't remember that.
He did great against the Thunder.
Yeah, I think he might have had a playoff victory against CP3 also. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, dude, the grit and grind, they were a tough team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving it a compliment, because I think Zebo's one of those guys, if he played today, he'd translate pretty well.
But it's crazy, the fact that I feel like Randall's stronger and Randall has more passing ability than Zebo.
Bro, he's a very underrated passer, Randall.
Yeah, he can do it all.
The driving kicks are great.
Mm-hmm. The only thing with Randall, he needs to slow down sometimes on the dribbling.